Well, I guess I wanted to explain this real quick. I don't know how to really explain it, but I guess you can say schizophrenia is like this. Basically, I'm in a constant state of paranoia. So that equates to fame if you can connect the dots that way. So when I first was in psychosis, I was like, okay, everything is kind of like blown up in your face. You know what I mean? Like, you start to think that everybody's looking at you. You start to think that everybody's watching you. And like the voices that you hear are basically, at first for me, it was like the police, and then it was the students of the college, and then it was everybody else. It was family, it was friends, it was random strangers, and the police are random people, so like you never meet these people, but they have created an impact in your life. So basically you're in this state of like everybody knows me, you know what I mean? So that never really goes away even with the medication. That's why they they kind of put us in like a prison in a way. You're on parole for like the rest of your life. You have to see the psychiatrist every month. You have to see a therapist every month. You have to take medication, and they are just monitoring you to see if anything is going awry. And the reason why they do that is because, like, in a way, like they don't trust us. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it got as far as my sisters and my mother taking guardianship over me, and the court declared that I was incapacitated. So that means that I'm not able to do anything really. They did a whole court thing. They were like, a doctor came over to check on me. Two doctors came to check on me, and they both said that I was incapacitated. And at the time, I wasn't taking my medication, so I was really in a state that wasn't well. And now that I'm on medication, you still feel that you're being watched, but not in a bad way. It's more of like you're famous. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows you, and fame is not like a bad thing. It's an annoying thing because now everything that you do is just kind of like, oh crap, they know what I'm doing, which is why I make videos, which is why I'm moving towards that status of like fame, because I already have it. You know what I mean? It's like it's already there. And I see the footholds that everybody falls into, because you have like May, where she's like, we're videotaping ourselves, we're having a conversation, and she's like, oh, you got to bleep that name out. And I'm like, no, you don't have to. It's it's kind of like everybody else is paranoid now and you're not. That's how it basically comes down to. That's how it works. It works the opposite way that you would think. It's like, I've been paranoid, so I know what paranoia is. So I understand it in a different light. I understand it to its core. It's like, if you're paranoid, you do certain things that don't really make sense to the grand scheme of things. So, like, for example, if you have license plates in your house and you need to bring them back, but you don't do it because you feel like it's not needed. And then you've heard from the DMV that they will suspend your license if you don't bring back your license plates. And you're just like, I'll just wait till they suspend my license before I bring it in because I don't see no point of doing it. Or it I really see it when people want to be videotaped. It's like they're like, I don't want to be videotaped, and you're like, why? And it's like, because I just don't want to. I feel uncomfortable about it. And then like I look at them and I'm like, you're being paranoid. And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm not being paranoid. I just don't want to be filmed. And it's like, what are you trying to hide? And it's like, and they can't really give an answer. And it's kind of like being shot into the future of this world that is completely different than this one, but it's much the same. Like there's much of the same mechanisms. You know, you're shot into the future, but you're still in the past. So you're working with all this primitive technology and these primitive people while you're 100 years into the future. So that's what schizophrenia is kind of like. If I explain that a little well, my camera's getting low on memory. It said I had like 14 minutes, so I'm gonna keep this real short. And hopefully you learned a little bit. You know, like hopefully you don't think like, oh, that kid is crazy. It's like, no, he's just thinking at a different level than everybody else, because you can see it in my life. Like I'll explain this, but I gotta free up some memory on my camera, bro, because I filled it up and I didn't mean to do that, and I'm falling behind. I'm being swamped with work, bro, making mad videos. But yeah. I'll try to explain this a little better, but that's what was on my mind this morning. All right, cool.